So I'm pretty sure everyone is aware of who Pyrocynical is. He's this YouTuber that makes long video essays of games that he loves playing, that he enjoys, and that he would recommend to his viewers to play as well. And then he would hire artists and animators to add segments into his videos. And with the revenue that he has gained from his second channel, PyroLive, it also funds the main channel so that he could buy props or he could rent a studio to make this long formatted video that's either 2 hours or 8 hours long. With all that said and good about Pyrocynical, he wasn't this YouTuber that always makes this type of content. It was more of a shift that he used to post back then, where it went from him reviewing movies or just him doing the usual commentary content. He even admitted himself that he was a Leafy clone, where he would bully children, which was entertaining back then. But now Pyrocynical is mostly known for this, or that, or this, or that one, or this one, or that one, or that one, and that one, and just recently this one. For this video, I wouldn't say that I'm farming for views, but this is more of an honest rant that I've been wanting to make since last year, and in the sense that I wasn't physically or mentally healthy enough to grab my controller and record the audio, I had to push this video for a couple of weeks back, but now I am able to do so. This video is more of just me talking about Pyrocynical's attitude and his influence on the internet, on top of that with how his fan base now reacts to any type of news, whether it's just some dickish shit that the content creators on Kick, Twitch, or Instagram, or just anybody that has the capability to use their phone and think that free will has no consequence on what they say, what they do, and in general, just them being a public nuisance or menace to society, or some serious news where it involves his health or some family member that has unfortunately passed away, and how they react to that certain type of content despite the tone of it, even though a sum of the fan base is old enough to drink, to drive, to vote, and to smoke, but isn't mature enough to handle the seriousness and how grave this situation is, despite the context and the topic that Pyrocynical is making a video out of. Before we continue, no, this video is not sponsored. I wanted to get this out of the way before we talk about the influx that Pyrocynical has, including his fan base and how it's changed the internet. One of them is the word slop, where he has constantly used this on his second channel, PyroLive. And in the sense that this has so much impact on anything normal, anything that's just neutral, or anything that is just basic, it's slop. For example, the recent installment to Final Destination, they called it gore slop. Dog, if you cannot handle people dying in the most obscure way possible, then just say that. Go ahead and buy yourself a bunch of Tampax, Lilets, Rotex, Playtex, because I'm seeing a bunch of pussies in my comment section. It could be as normal or just as neutral as a good game. It could be a good movie, it could be a good show, it could be a good comic, or just a hyperfixation that you really love talking about and wouldn't shut up about it. And they will call it slop. And I'll tell you why they say this. Because they don't want anybody else to feel that type of joy that they naturally love, or that they're trying their best not to fit in. When was the last time you were hugged or kissed by your mom and dad? Have you ever had love and affection as a little kid? Or maybe you were addicted to them and that's why they had to kick you out and cut you off financially. When it comes to this fan base, and even though he says this is single-handedly the most degenerate fan base that I have ever created, in the words of him from his second channel, a large majority of the people in that fan base, they can't even think for themselves. They don't care about privacy. Their morality is just on a low level, despite people that have been in an unfortunate situation. My deepest condolences to you, honestly, because I've also been through that same pain as well. Where Pyrocynical unfortunately had to put down his pet that he has known him since he was like a little kid, and with him making that video as a way to cope about it, there was a legion of people making a mockery about it, where he says, oh wow, this is good slap, keep it up, Pyro. Like, it's disgusting and it's scary, because even if it's a person that experienced discrimination in a form of police brutality, for example, currently with ICE, where somebody has been shot unlawfully in Minnesota, and the mayor of Minnesota is doing everything within his power to get them the fuck off of the town. And when Pyrocynical makes a video about that, they call that slop. At this point, it's just time to do a hard reset. Delete the Discord, delete the Reddit. And I understand you're gonna miss the old memories of when it first started. You're gonna miss the people that genuinely love being in the server because of the friends that they made that they didn't think could be possible from the same interest or the same problem, including the people that genuinely have a really good talent. Like it could be an artist or it could be an animator. And when you notice their work, you didn't think that they have this potential talent that they've been having whilst also being in the server and in part of your fan base. And even the moderators are going to miss having the freedom and the liberty to say whatever they want, do whatever they want, have no consequences, you know, the typical mod abuse. And fun facts, I got called the N-word and the hard R, and they still haven't gone banned. Now, with Pyrocynical's behavior of how he acts on the internet, it really inspires people who cannot think for themselves to replicate how he acts on camera as well, which of course will be off-putting and unsettling and uncomfortable when you meet them in person when it comes to conventions. These people will do anything in their power, whether they could be an artist, they could be an animation, or just a typical user that loves to comment the craziest shit that you have ever seen in your life on the internet, just to grab your attention and make you feel uncomfortable on purpose. And the only person that you can blame of how they act this way is you. With how much notoriety you have with making those videos back in the past, now you make long form content of games that you really enjoy, or just video essays of things that people didn't think you would talk about, like Iron Lung, a Five Nights at Freddy's clone that is generally good and you didn't think it would be, or just talking about the golden age of YouTube that everybody pretty much forgotten about. Now, ever since the 2020 situation and the TF2 mod situation of 2024, people started to observe of what type of content that he does love to look at in these specific sites just to make him feel some type of way. And now these artists have drawn him morbidly obese, so big in fact that it makes Lizzo and Saucy Santana look like milk duds. And another thing that I do want to add, I did message Pyrocynical to finish in a joke where it's like, you're right, Pyrocynical, PlayStation has no games. And then I made it ironic where I said it has no games when Sony made this tweet that it has over 150 plus games on the catalog, including PlayStation Plus. Only reason why I messaged him like that is because I don't know how to talk to him, and I thought that I would lose my chance to DM him because of the responses that he's been getting, either lewd, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, or just flat out uncomfortable, which I don't really blame him. At this point, do you even enjoy games? Do you even like games? Because you say that there are no games and then play a game that you genuinely enjoy. Oh, your body and nails? Huh, predictable. And I get the fact that maybe there's just a certain vocabulary that you couldn't handle in this video, and I could understand that you're pretty tired of how your fan base is just reacting to what you do. This motherfucker is close to hitting his 30s and he's still acting like this. And it is unfortunate that him being a degenerate is the only thing that he's known for. I mean, he even got kicked off from the sponsor of Gamer Subs, you know, after they made the waifu cup with Pyrocynical's logo, and when he asked them to make them bigger, they cut him off completely. Like the sponsor deal, messaging him, all that. And it just comes to a point where there just needs to be an intervention. Like, sure, jokes aside, this is just a sad way to go, and a sad way to be more known for in your grave, instead of somebody that's just like a casual goof, or just as a person that makes long video essays of games that are genuinely interesting or that are really good to look at. But now you're more known as a person that likes jerking off to fat furry porn of your avatar. Another thing I didn't like about Pyrocynical was one of his videos where he talked about the World of T-shirt situation with World of T-shirts' unfortunate addiction to alcohol. But I do appreciate Pyrocynical mentioning this to his fans and, you know, to spread awareness. What I didn't like about it is that I think around halfway into the video, he explained the situation in Fortnite terms. That pisses me off because I know he's better than this. I know that he's just trying to lighten the mood of this serious situation, but not every video or every situation or a mature theme or topic that needs to be addressed or needs to be spread awareness. The jokes need to be put aside, and when the jokes are added into this video, they're implanted and edited down, and with the editor leaving that on, despite the serious tone of it, the fan base will react the typical way, the self-awareness tone, to say, oh, thanks for the slop, Pyro. It could be somebody that got into a car crash for example, like Anthony Joshua, Pyrocynical will make a video about that and their fans just don't give a shit. They know they will never be into that situation, and it's sickening, really. They have no morality for the people despite their opposite gender, their beliefs, or the unfortunate condition that they're in, even if they're mentally challenged or they're slow when it comes to intellect. And that's why I say that Pyrocynical should delete both his Discord and his Reddit as a hard reset. Or maybe just make a video and just disable the comments, honestly, just to set the tone straight, where he's done with the constant bullying, he's done with the masochism, he's done with the sadism of love getting this feeling of being embarrassed by other YouTubers, for example, like AO Odwin, James Marriott, any YouTuber that is familiar of his name and the situation that he's been in that has been viral on the internet, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Discord when it's shared, Reddit when it's shared, or Facebook or Snapchat if people still use that in 2026. I'm just saying that it'll come to a point where he's had enough. And the only person that he can blame with how his fan base reacts and how they respond despite the situation that he's talking about in his PyroLive channel is him. He is the reason. And sure, you may be a down-to-earth, chill dude in person. You may be a kind soul. But when it comes to you acting on the internet, it's a different side that a lot of people aspire to how you react and make that part of their personality, which is creepy. And I don't think a lot of people talk about this or mention this enough, despite the notoriety or the fame that they have gotten for what they're known for. For example, like voice acting, film editing, or just being a content creator in general. It's something that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be deleted, something that needs to be out, something that cannot be replicated in years' time. But with nothing being done and with these cycles constantly being repeated and being spread like the plague, there's no way out of it. It's just permanently implanted on the internet and how you view the people that enjoy and watch your content, or even the people that want to interact with the fan base, for example, like Discord or Reddit. Now, this particular segment in this video can be seen as irrelevant, but this is more of a plus of what Pyrocynical has done, and that is when he cosplays as a woman. Now, with that being said, that is none of my business. If he wants to do that, okay, by all means, he has the willpower and the free will to do so. But when he does cosplay as a woman, there has been trans people that has reached out to him, message him, or comments him on his photos, most likely on Instagram, that they never felt so confident and open to wear feminine clothing when they came out in public, or to their parents, or to their significant others, or to their friends, whether in person or online. And that's a good thing, honestly. I think that even though it does seem kind of weird to the people out there that aren't pretty familiar with his choices, especially when it comes to what he does when the cameras are off, this is something that can be seen as a motivator to the trans community. With all that being said, that's all I have to say for today's video. I am pretty confident that Pyrocynical stopped watching this video to look at something else, to play a bit while watching this, was biting his nails, was looking away off of chat, was asking chat some pretty basic or just out of topic questions while watching this, just to get away from the awkwardness of how true or how unfortunate it has become with his presence being on the internet. And yes, I have unsubscribed to Pyrocynical. I unfollowed him. I got away from the Discord because I just genuinely couldn't even handle with how this fan base interacts, or how they respond, or how they behave, if that makes sense. That's gonna be it. I'll be seeing you all later. And fun fact, before I end this video, I did record it and finished everything that I have to say word for word, this entire video. And just as I was done pressing the render button on Share Factory, which is the built-in editor that I have on my PS5. Oh, you said no games? Predictable. It crashed as soon as I was done. It was 10:47 p.m. last night. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to bed and just doing this in the morning. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you think about it. Comment down below if you're on the same page as me. And if you're one of those people that just cannot take any form of criticism and would rather listen to yourself. I'll be seeing you all later. My DMs are open if you want to talk to me or just be transparent with me with this video that you have reacted on your PyroLive channel and most likely uploaded it. This is Without Gray. Peace. And another thing, I'm not a furry. I'm the exact opposite. a Native American.